All right. And of course, what happened over the last few days has been crazy. Of course, the trade deadline, the NFL is always crazy. But the first thing that happened actually happened on Wednesday morning. Aaron Rodgers is out for their next game versus the Chiefs. That would basically make Jordan Love the starter for Sunday. It'd be his first ever game he starts. Where you guys are, how shocked were you with the Aaron Rodgers news?
Jake, I'll let you take this one first.
I mean, I was shocked because it said that he was vaccinated during training camp and all that. So I just thought it was going to be smooth sailing with him, and he was going to ride out the whole season without any problems. At first, when I saw the news too, I mean, I still had that in the back of my head, and I was like, "Why is he out for Sunday? He's got to sit for 2 days." But yeah, no, he can't play. Getting Jordan Love out there though against that Chiefs defense, I don't think it's going to be as bad as, I mean, a lot of people thought as soon as the news got out there.
I think that it's interesting talking about how, I mean, that happening. I definitely wasn't expecting the news. My first thought was I thought, I'm really not keeping track very well of who is or isn't vaccinated in the NFL. I just made the assumption that he was, and it's like, dang, he got really unlucky in terms of getting his monthly test it is for people that are vaccinated. I just made the assumption he was, and he actually got it in that short time period. But whether or not that's the case, that's not really a big deal. He's out. That's the important thing in terms of football. And if he's out, I'm very interested to see how this is going to go, because something that Jake and I have really talked about a ton recently is just how the Chiefs and their entire thing has been like, we don't want to be out on the Chiefs yet in terms of the record being bad and even keeping games close, like against the Giants that really shouldn't be close when you talk about their roster. It's very interesting, but and probably I would have favored the Packers like really heavily in this game, if Rodgers was playing. But with Jordan Love in, it becomes a lot more interesting because the Chiefs have kind of obviously slowed down from where they were like the past few years. But then Jordan Love may even it out because the Packers have been playing like one of the best teams in the league up to this point. I'm still really having trouble figuring out which way I think this game's going to go. But I do think the Chiefs any given week could just come on and start playing really hot again. So that's another interesting aspect to it. It's just, when is that going to come? Because they still had the turnover issues against the Giants on Monday night.
Yeah, like the Chiefs, what the game, or when I saw them take on the Packers, when they took on the Giants on Monday night, they didn't look that great. I mean, Mahomes turned the ball over twice, he fumbled, and of course the interception was kind of not really necessarily his fault. It was tipped pass, but I mean, they didn't look super impressive. They barely beat the Giants, who are one of the worst teams in the NFC at least. But I mean, with Jordan Love out, this probably favors the Chiefs, or not with Jordan Love, but with Aaron Rodgers out, this definitely favors the Chiefs. But I think if Rodgers plays, I think this game would be closer than a lot of people think. Of course, if Rodgers is playing, I'd give the edge to Green Bay. But now that Jordan Love is making his first career start with Rodgers being out, I would probably favor the Chiefs a little bit. But again, the Chiefs haven't been as good this year as they were the last few years. And it's still probably up in the air, but I'm going to probably just go with the Chiefs just because Jordan Love is making his first career start. How well do you think he'll perform this Sunday versus Kansas City?
I'd say that we got a chance to see a good amount of him as Bills fans in one preseason game that we played against the Packers. He played the majority of it. They actually moved the ball really successfully, but kind of talking about the Chiefs, with how they've played really this season. The theme of that one preseason game that we watched with Jordan Love playing a significant amount in was that they were moving the ball and then they would have like one thing get screwed up to just completely ruin the drive. So he got like, I remember, I mean, the drive that comes to my mind the most is like one where I feel like they started like maybe inside their own 15-yard line in the preseason, the Packers, and they moved the ball all the way down the field, inside our 15, maybe even. And then Jordan Love has a play that's like a bootleg, and he just chucks up a prayer that there's no chance is going to get answered. And that type of thing is really what I'm worried about. I think they'll actually be able to move the ball still pretty effectively. I think that Jordan Love is fairly accurate from what I remember of him in college and just how he's looked in those very limited opportunities I've seen him. He just really needs to avoid that mistake that he sort of seemed, that one big mistake on a drive that can kill it. And honestly, if he played a game manager role this weekend and really did that the entire game, I think the Packers should be able to come out of this one with a victory with how the Chiefs have been playing. But I don't know if he's going to do that because his tendencies haven't been leaning towards that in the past.
Yeah, the rookie mistakes are going to be inevitable, though. To have him not do something stupid is going to be asking a lot because every rookie QB does. But yeah, watching the one preseason game that he played against the Bills, moving it in between the 15s, he looked great. And I mean, the Bills' defense is up there as one of the best right now in the league, and they've left the starters in till like the end of the third quarter in that preseason game, and he was still playing against them. But yeah, the same play came to mind thinking about that as well. Just the bootleg that he just chucked up. But I'd say if there's any defense that you could do that and get away with doing that too, it'd be the Chiefs. I mean, if Dan Sorensen's out there, target him every play. He's been terrible. I don't know how he hasn't gotten benched yet. But yeah, that should help him a lot if Devontae Adams gets out there on Dan Sorensen. But yeah, going against the Chiefs defense, it's going to help a lot with him making stupid rookie mistakes. But if he can cut that down to 1 or 2, the game is winnable for them. But if he has more than that, I think it's out of reach just with how frequently the Chiefs move the ball, even with their turnovers too.
I think 2 could be enough to screw it up. It's if the Chiefs actually take advantage of those 2 mistakes. If those 2 mistakes just end up being like swatted down balls, not a big deal. If those 2 mistakes end up being picks, that could swing the game.
Yeah, well, at least for Jordan Love, he has Devontae Adams back, because I know last week Adams missed the game because of the COVID protocols. But I mean, yeah, the Chiefs' defense has definitely not been great. It's actually been horrible this year. The Chiefs are 4-4 right now, and I think if you're the Chiefs right now, there is time to worry, or you should be starting to worry. But the thing is, that division, that AFC West, I don't think it's as good as what it's looking like right now. I don't know if the Raiders are as good as their record shows. The Broncos, they're 4-4 right now. It's kind of iffy. The Chargers, they've just dropped their last 2 games. I don't know, man. I still think the Chiefs are going to win that division. But yeah, I think with Jordan Love going into, I think it's in Kansas City, I think he'll have a solid game. He'll probably have at least 1 turnover, maybe interception, maybe a fumble, because as you mentioned, he's going to be a rookie. He's going to make those mistakes. So I don't know. I'm going to probably lean to the Chiefs here, but I could see Love having a solid game.